Hey guys, today I'm making chicken Paillard. It's one of my favorite chicken thigh dishes. It's so delicious and it comes together pretty easily. It's a great thing to make if you're trying to get dinner on the table last minute because we've pounded the chicken thighs really flat and they're gonna cook really quickly. If you need tips on how to get the chicken thigh flat or how to set up a breading station, then check out my last two videos. But we're ready to go now, so let's do it. I've got my chicken thigh. I'm gonna season it with salt on both sides. This is always my first step to breading is season the meat. And in this first bowl, I've got almond flour, which is just gonna be the first coating. Everything in a breading station is to get the next thing to stick. So my first douse of almond flour is to get the egg wash to stick, and then the egg wash is to get your final coating to stick. So you could also season this almond flour, but because I just seasoned the chicken thighs, it's not really necessary. All right, into the egg wash we go. Flip it over and make sure both sides are coated. And then into our coating. I'm using almond flour and pecorino today. You could use traditional breadcrumbs. You could use almond flour and a different cheese, like Parmesan, whatever sounds good to you. If you're just using flour, if you're not using any sort of cheese, I would definitely season this some more with salt. So I'm gonna flip that once more just to make sure it's really fully coated. And then we've got our pan ready. It's really medium heat. You don't want to cook it too hot or the breadcrumbs or whatever coating you're using are gonna burn. And you want to use a good amount of oil. We're not deep frying here, so you don't need an inch, but you do want to fully coat the bottom of the pan. So that could be up to a quarter cup of oil, depending on how big your pan is. So we're gonna take our chicken thigh and just lay that in there. Perfect. That nice sizzle lets you know the pan is perfectly hot. Okay. While that is cooking, one of my favorite things to do with chicken Paillard is to give everyone an individual serving and then top it with a salad directly on the chicken, so all the flavors meld together. So I'm going to show you how I make a quick kale salad that we're going to top the chicken with. So I'm using a bunch of black kale, also known as dinosaur kale, Jacinto kale. It's got lots of names. It's this dark green, not curly kale. And I really recommend that you don't buy those pre-cut bags because they just take them and cut them up. And they still have this very thick, very not fun to eat spine of the kale in there. So I just want to show you really quickly. If you just hold the kale like this at the end and rip like this, you rip the leaf completely off the spine. Super simple to do. To do this to a whole bunch of kale and chop it takes, a minute or two at the most, and then you're not having to chew on this icky part that comes in those pre-cut bags. So once I've got it off the spine, I am going to wrap it up. This is sort of like a chiffonade for herbs, but a little bit bigger. I've heard it referred to as like rolling a cigar. Not that I've ever rolled a cigar, but if you were going to, I imagine, you'd push all the tobacco leaves together. So get them in a tight bunch, and then you're just gonna come through and make little slices that are gonna give you these little ribbons of kale. Okay. Bowl. To that, I am adding diced apple. I've got about half a diced apple here. And blue cheese. If you're not a fan of blue cheese, I get it. You can use something else. If you've only used those dry blue cheese crumbles that you can get pre-crumbled in the grocery store, at least try this once for me. Triple cream blue cheese is one of my favorite things to add flavor to a salad, frankly, to just eat with a spoon. You don't have to roll like that. It's very creamy, it's very bitey, it's delicious. Saint Agur is a really nice one. Castello also makes a really good triple cream. Castello has a couple blue cheeses, so make sure you're getting their good triple cream. Trader Joe's used to sell it. I don't know if they still do. So good. All right, let's see if that is ready to flip. Sometimes you just have to loosen it up a little bit from the bottom of the pan. Oh, that's looking so good. Yummy. Rinse that. And then the dressing I'm using today is olive oil, lemon juice, sherry vinegar, and a little bit of honey. I usually season my salad dressings with salt, but I'm just going to sprinkle the salt directly on this salad when we're done, so there's no need to do that today. So I don't pour it directly on the salad, I pour it around the sides of the bowl. You can also make the salad dressing in the bowl and then add the salad. Toss and coat. Yummy, yummy. And then for cooking, for seasoning, I always use Diamond Crystal kosher salt. But for finishing a salad, in particular, or finishing any dish really, I really like Malden. Pardon my ripped container. And I'm just going to take a pinch and season it over the top. Let's see how that's tasting. Perfect. All right. One more trick for cooking these. You're probably only going to be able to fit 2 in a pan at a time. So if you're making 4 of them, if you're cooking for a big group, I like to turn my oven on to 200. And I put a cookie tray with a cooling rack on it, and then as they're finished, you can transfer the chicken to the rack and keep it warm in the oven while the other ones cook. When you take fried food, even pan-fried food out of the pan, you always want to give it a final little seasoning of salt. So I did this when this came out of the pan. We'll just give it once more. And then to serve this, you're just going to plate these up individually for people. In there. And then take a little bit of your salad, lay it right over the top for everyone. And there we go. Let's see how we did. I love this chicken dish. So good, so well seasoned because you've added flavor at so many different stages. And the acid in the salad is just a really great balance. So anyway, let me know if you make it and how it goes. Enjoy.